Hello everybody, welcome back to In the Trenches. First, let's show love to our people from Manny and Gordon. This whole podcast webcast is powered by them. Go check them out at fightnegligence.com. All right. For those of you to watch that game yesterday, tough game to watch. I didn't predict that the Bucs were going to win that game. I'm not a homer. I watched the game. I look and see what's going on. I just didn't think they were there. Okay, the Buccaneers, I didn't think they were at a point where they can go to Buffalo and win the game, and they weren't. They proved me right, unfortunately. All right, they lose 44 to 32. All right. Here's the issue with that game yesterday. If I would have told you, here are the things that the Buccaneers need to do well for them to win the game, they actually did it. And that's what's scary. And not good scary, bad scary. Because the Bucs had to run the football. They actually ran the football, okay? They need to get some big plays. They did that. They need to do some things offensively. They did that. Defensively, I don't know what they're trying to do defensively. I really don't. We've been, on Beckles and Retcher, we've been begging all year for an identity. And I'm going to ask you right now. This is, the Bucs are 6-4. This is week 12. What is the Bucs' identity? What are they hanging their hats on? I'm asking you as a Buccaneer fan, what is their identity? What do they do well consistently? And if you don't have an answer, it's going to be very hard to be successful into the playoffs. I'm just telling you. You better have an answer. Before the playoffs come around, you better have an answer. And we don't have an answer yet, okay? Because this Buccaneer team, who is 6-4, has lost 3 straight games. The defense is giving up 72 points in the last 2 games. That's not Todd Bowles. That's not a Todd Bowles team. That's not what he's about. And the Bucs are 0-4 against playoff teams. And who have they beaten? And this is a reality check now. Who are the Buccaneers beaten? There was a time when we felt good about themselves, but who the hell are they beaten now? All right, Buffalo was not exactly coming off. They weren't pounding their chest. They weren't world beaters. That Buffalo team yesterday didn't punt, not one time. They didn't punt, not one time. And this Buccaneers team, who scored 32 points yesterday, still left points out there. The Bucs are 30th in red zone offense. 30th. It's just not a statistic of a winning football team, unfortunately. And even yesterday, when the Bucs were up in the fourth quarter, I still didn't feel confident. I bet you didn't either. At any point, did you feel confident that they were going to win that football game? All right, there was probably 9 minutes left in that game, and the Bucs were up. I still didn't feel it. We couldn't stop anybody. Okay, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. Special teams, my God. I mean, talk about giving up the booty. Like, I've been part of some games before where we scored a lot of points. I remember we played in Dallas on Monday night, and we kept on kicking the ball off to Herschel Walker, and he kept on running the ball back to the 30. And I'm like, stop kicking the damn ball. I felt like saying that yesterday. Stop kicking them the damn ball. Because it seemed like they were running the ball back to the 50 almost every freaking time. All right? And it's just, when I'm watching this Buccaneer team, I just don't know what to cheer for anymore. Like, usually, like back in the day, you knew how you were going to win as a Buccaneer fan. Run the football, play defense, don't turn the ball over. That ain't the equation anymore. That is not the Buccaneer equation anymore. They don't have an equation, and I think that's scary. The Bucs don't have an equation to win. They don't have it. They still won some games, but they don't have an equation. Every game they win is a different equation. And I think that is a bad thing. All right? Special teams wise, special teams coach, you got to watch yourself now, because there's a lot of block punts and there's a lot of kickoff returns this year, and people are starting to yell out your name. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And going back to this Buccaneer team offensively, yesterday I saw Baker doing some good things. I saw Baker doing some bad things as well. It looks like Baker's oblique is back to where it was, I guess. I saw a couple runs being called for Baker yesterday. We really hadn't seen Baker run at all the previous two games at all, to a point where he's just not trying to run. And when I see the Buccaneers calling runs for him, it makes me feel like he's feeling better about themselves. Couple of plays yesterday, the Tucker run, who was untouched for 44 yards, with Tristan Wirth escorting him down the field with nobody to block. I love seeing stuff like that. I love seeing stuff like that. I keep on asking, why isn't Tucker getting the ball more? And every time he touches the ball, something happens. So I don't know if I'm the one being ignorant or if they're the ones being ignorant. Like, why aren't you giving Tucker the ball more? Doesn't seem to cough it up. All he does is get 7-point-something yards to carry. Makes sense to give him the ball a little bit more. And yesterday, offensively, it's hard to complain about anything other than us leaving some points on the field. The first interception, us getting the ball on the 5-yard line, that would have been nice to put that one in the end zone, okay? But other than that, it's hard to complain on the road scoring 32 points. It's hard. But it ain't hard to complain defensively. It's just not, because they didn't stop a swinging dilly yesterday. They didn't stop anybody yesterday at all. And other than that Parrish play early in the game with the interception, which was just a bonehead play by Josh Allen, defensively they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough, and they got names like Tyrell Shavers. Never heard this guy in my life. Those guys are going off on us. What about this Buccaneer defense that doesn't give up big plays? The Bucs don't give up explosive plays? No, the Bucs used to not give up explosive plays. They're giving up a whole lot of explosive plays now. A lot, unfortunately. And listen, I try to be the realist. Realistically, this Bucs defense is I don't know what they're even grasping for anymore. Because when we do get sacks, it's because of blitzing and schematic sacks. We don't really get many sacks from great rushers. We don't. And that's what keeps on giving. The gift that keeps on giving are good rushers. And we go out in a game yesterday against a Buffalo team that's been giving up lots of sacks, against a quarterback that gets sacked a lot, and we don't put him on the ground not one time on the road. That's a problem. That's a problem. And we were just giving up the booty. It's unfortunate. And this Buccaneer team going forward, once again, we were 6-1, feeling good about ourselves. Now we're 6-4. Got the Rams coming up. The Rams are a bitch, all right? And I still hear these Buccaneer fans and these, Buccaneers to-dos talking about, well, we'll do this and we'll win this with the Cardinals and the Saints, and I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't. If you go ahead and get trounced by the Rams, we're not about nothing. I'm just telling everybody right now, if you go and get trounced by the Rams, this team's not about nothing. We be 6-5. You have to play the Cardinals. You have to play the Saints. You got to play for Carolina a couple times. You got to play Atlanta. You still might win 4 of those games, but it still doesn't mean you're about nothing. Because the Bucs haven't beaten anybody yet. They better hurry up and beat somebody, the Rams, quickly, or you're going to mess around and lose to the Rams, and then you might win 4 of the last 5 games or whatever. Well, we still, at the end of the year, are going to be about we didn't beat nobody. Because that's where we are right now with this Buccaneer team, because I see guys looking around, and last week, I know Baker was pointing a little bit, but I don't know if that locker room is in a great spot right now, because defensively, you pretty much carried this team early in the season. Now offensively, we're carrying the team. Now everybody's looking around, looking for somebody to stop this nonsense, and nobody's stopping it. Everybody's looking for somebody else to make the big play to stop this bleeding, and nobody's stopping the bleeding right now. But Todd Bowles got to figure it out. Like, one thing about Todd Bowles in his tenure, when they had a skid, and they're skidding right now, he's always figured out a way to stop it. So, Todd, you better figure this out because this Rams game all of a sudden becomes real pivotal. Because, if you could lose the game, but if it looks funny, these guys are going to come back and then they'll be one loss away from packing it up. I mean, that's the way football happens, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it happens. Teams start questioning themselves, and I think this Buccaneer team's got to be questioning themselves right now. Forget about being 6-4. It's how the 6-4 has happened. And the last 3 weeks is just not, it's not something for us to put our hats on at all. At all. And this Rams team is a good Rams team, well-coached, physical team, good football players, good quarterback. Maybe that's a perfect team to go against. But then again, Buffalo might have been the perfect team to go against as well. And we didn't figure out a way to do that one defensively. Offensively, we did all right. Defensively, we couldn't figure it out. But it's sad to say because this is a defensive team. This is Todd Bowles' team. It's a defensive team. They better figure out a way to turn around defensively real quick. Or this season's going to go awry, and then we're going to be talking about Todd Bowles and Todd Bowles' head. Because people were asking for Todd Bowles' head while he was winning. When he's losing, it's not going to be pretty whatsoever. So next week, next Monday, hopefully when we're talking about the way the Buccaneers turn this thing around because at the moment right now, it's not going in the right direction whatsoever. You're a Buccaneer fan, you've got to be concerned at this moment. If you're not concerned, you don't know football because I'm certainly concerned. No doubt about that. Anybody wants to hit me up, it's Ian Beckles Show on Instagram. And make sure you follow me on YouTube and hit a like and all those things you're supposed to do. I appreciate everybody listening in, and let's hope we have some better news next week for our Buccaneers. Have a wonderful week, and please stay out of trouble. Peace out.
Some lawyers want to look like superheroes on a billboard, but which lawyers are regarded as superheroes in the courtroom? Trust the expertise of board certification.
Call Manny and Gordon or visit us at fightnegligence.com.